So we're just driving around a little bit today. Decided to come up and check out Andersonville. It's a neighborhood that a few readers have asked about in hopes that maybe we would cover things a little bit more up in this area, and we just don't get to it very often enough. We don't have anybody on the Yo staff who lives up here anymore. Patrick lived up in this area while he was here, but I can't say that I make it up here very often. Do you?
Neither do I.
Yeah.
It's a long ways where I live.
Yeah. So anyway, we're just gonna kind of drive around a little here and see what we can see. The New Home Notebook that we run every month in New Homes Magazine, and that you can also find at newhomenotebook.com, only lists about 3 projects in Andersonville proper, which we've just entered, and there are lots of developments, it seems like, that promote themselves as being in Andersonville, but are really kind of on the edges, either in Edgewater or in Uptown.
Kind of like Lincoln Square. Lincoln Square
Yeah.
is the same sort of treatment.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, it is a relatively small neighborhood, and I think you can find a lot of the characteristics of Andersonville, a few blocks in every direction of the boundaries. But yeah, so we only have about 3 projects listed for the neighborhood itself.
That could be a symptom of the fact that we don't get up here.
Right, which is a good reason to kind of come up here and drive around and take a look to see maybe if there are some properties that have gone under the radar that we can include on New Home Notebook. So anyway, we're just gonna kind of drive around a little bit and see what we can see. Lots of bikers out today. Anyway, like we did with our Lakeview East video, I printed off some demographic information from the MCIC about Andersonville. Just looking around here, and this is including a little bit of the area immediately east of Andersonville, so these numbers aren't completely accurate, but for the neighborhood there are a little more than 8,000 people here, and it's expected to pretty much stay the same way through 2010, at least from their projections. So you can see here, which street are we on?
Balmoral.
All right, so some shops here, then turning into look like single-family homes.
For the most part, it looks like.
Same over here on the other side as well. Anyway, so yeah, the projections through 2010 show about 8,400 people or so. According to the census information, most of those people are going to be white, although it does have a very rapidly growing Latino population. According to this, it's going to jump from about 1,900 Hispanics in 2005 to about 2,300 in 2010, which is going to be about close to an 18% increase. What's also interesting are people who identify themselves as being other. That means not white, not African American, not Asian, not Hispanic,
Not Native American.
and not white, non-Hispanic. People who identify themselves as something else are actually going to see the largest growth in population here in the neighborhood. So that kind of interesting. I'd be curious to see if there's one particular ethnic group that is moving in here, or how exactly that works. About 2/3 of the households here in the neighborhood are considered non-family households. A plurality of the people here have at least a bachelor's degree or a grad degree, master's or doctorate. Majority of people are native born, and most of them speak English, it says here. Let's see what else we have. All sorts of data. Let's see, most of them are employed. The median household income in 2005 was about close to $55,000 a year. That should jump up to about $68,000 by 2010. The median price of or value of one of these homes right now, or at least in 2005, was $292,000, and that's actually going to drop down to about $290,000 based on their estimates. So where are we? Which street are we on right now?
Turning onto Clark Street.
Clark Street. Okay, so you
Basically
see
the main drag.
yeah, and Clark Street, there are a mix of some new construction condominium buildings along here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But also a lot of older structures as well. Really a good mix of restaurants and small shops here along this stretch of Clark.
You still do see a good bit of blue and yellow,
Yeah.
reminding us of the
Swedes.
Swedish Heritage.
Yeah, in fact, we see if we can zoom in over here. You can
There's
see
the water tower up there.
you can see a flag. Oh yeah, the water tower up here.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Do you have any info on how many, what the percentage of Swedish residents are here?
No, I don't. We don't break it down that far. Andersonville, I guess, is known partially for being a gay and lesbian community. It's
It definitely once was.
yeah. I don't know. I would assume that there is still a significant gay population here, although I don't know if it is as large as it has been.
Yeah, I haven't
past.
heard otherwise.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's definitely a destination neighborhood. You know,
Yeah.
I have friends in New York who, of the handful of Chicago neighborhoods that they're familiar with, Andersonville is one of them for some reason.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
But I imagine that this kind of vibrant street life on Clark Street has something to do with that.
Yeah. One of the other things that MCIC provides, something that we talked about again in our Lakeview East videos that we did a while back, but they do this thing called a Community Vitality Index, where they rate neighborhoods with a lot of different criteria: social capital, economic potential, and community amenities. They score those from 0 to 100, with I guess 50 being average. So anyway, it looks here like on the whole it has a Community Vitality Index score of 85.
Doesn't sound too bad.
That doesn't sound too bad at all. I can't remember right now what it was for Lakeview East, but I would have to say that 85 on the whole is pretty darn good score. The lowest one is a 45 for Social Capital, which, I guess is a little lower than average. Or actually, let me see here. Chicago has a mean of 47.4 for Social Capital, so it's really close to average here. Social Capital measures things such as voter participation, I believe ethnic diversity, things of that nature. The other scores, economic potential, it obviously has a huge economic potential, 83.4. We're gonna swing around here and start heading back south. And community amenities gets a 78.7, which I want to say is significantly higher than what we saw when we were over in Lakeview East. That obviously would have a lot to do with, economic potential probably ties in a lot with these businesses that we were passing on Clark. But community amenities, obviously, it must play into that a little bit as well, because there are lots of things to go and do around here, obviously. You're not having to travel far for food, entertainment, transportation. Very lush green growth here. It's
yeah, I'll say. Like you're on the jungle floor almost.
Yeah. Got another Swedish flag out here.
Really nice landscaping on some of these. I've seen a handful of for rent signs too.
Really?
Yeah, there's. Looks like there's quite a few rental buildings around here.
Actually, that would be about right. Looking here at the data, it says that right now there, or at least in 2005, there were about 3,700 occupied units in Andersonville, and of those, almost 2,400 of those 3,700 were renter-occupied units.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's pretty significant.